high-risk investment. Trading on margin carries a high level of risk, and may not be suitable for all investors. Before deciding to trade, you should carefully consider your investment objectives, level of experience, and risk appetite. The possibility exists that you could sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment, and therefore you should not invest money that you cannot afford to lose. You should be aware of all the risks associated with trading, and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. Market opinions. Any opinions, news, research, analyses, prices, or other information contained on this video is provided as general market commentary, and does not constitute investment advice. Master the Markets will not accept liability for any loss or damage, including without limitation to, any loss of profit, which may arise directly or indirectly from use of or reliance on such information.
Hello traders, and welcome to our live trading workshop webinar today. Now, just to give you all an overview of what we're going to be covering for today, this webinar is jointly hosted by Master the Markets and Trade Guider. Now, before we go on to look at some live trading positions, what's the format actually we go through? So the first thing what we do is, traders, we look at some live trading potential trades, okay, at the right side of the chart in real time, because me and Gavin, we always believe that's the best way to learn. The second thing also then we will be looking at is a topic for today as well, okay? And the topic is going to be on how to forecast market direction in advance, okay? That's what most people want to do, isn't it? Just one thing I also want to talk about the live trading potential trades. Whenever we look at it, our whole idea is that we want to teach you the principles so that you can take away and you can apply it in your own strategy as well to achieve consistent performance, not just relying on our signals and trades. We want to teach you how to fish as well, not just take the fish, okay? So that's one thing I just did want to mention. And the last thing is, you know, after we go through the topic as well, we will look at upcoming events that we are holding up, and some amazing events. One of the things is the annual summit, as happens once a year. We got some really good take up on it, and I'll talk a little bit about that. Me and Gavin will talk a little bit about that, and also we will have a Q&A session as well. So any questions you got throughout the entire session on the live stream on YouTube as well as on the Zoom, type into the chat box and I will answer it towards the end, okay? So this and more in this live trading session. Traders, those of you joining in for the first time, it's still Napan here, founder of Master the Markets Illustrates Conference and Traders Open Day, and I'm joined in by my really good friend and director and CEO of Trade Guider, Gavin Holmes. Gavin, welcome to the show.
Yeah, great to be here, everyone. Thank you from broadcasting down here in Sandbanks on the south coast of England. Really strange weather, I've got to be honest. You know, 1 minute I was out walking the dogs, it was sunny. And then all of a sudden, it was hail and thunder. And I'm thinking, what the hell's going on? You know, it was really quick. But the markets are doing some really good things at the moment. And we're going to talk about that today. Thank you to all of you that have bought my third book, Think, Link, Create. I just saw how many people have bought it. It's quite amazing. And I'm really grateful for that. And I'm also really looking forward to going to India, because we've just appointed a reseller who's going to work with Kyron and Glenn out in India. We've got a lot of inquiries, and I don't know why, but that's a good thing. We'll talk about the markets, obviously, today. We're going to talk about the charts. But yeah, no, I've worked with Tiru for a number of years, and we've become very good friends. And ultimately, it's all about what we're trying to do. And I said this to Tiru earlier. I said, we're actually here to help you to understand the truth about the markets, and we'll cover this today. And Kyron and Glenn, same in India, and you know, we've got a guy that I worked with yesterday. He's in this room. I'll try and put the microphone on if you're okay with this, Tiru. And his name's TJ. Now, I'll just give you a very brief background, and then we'll go to the charts, because that's what you want to look at. But brief background: I'm a former police officer, a detective constable, Detective Holmes. Holmes, like Sherlock. And, I served in the force, both the Met and Hampshire and Isle of Wight Constabulary over a 7-year period. And TJ reached out to me some weeks ago and said, "Look, I'll be honest with you." And he was really straight. He said, "Well, I'm a former gang member up in London, right?" And he told me his whole story, and I'm absolutely fascinated by it because he's changed. And he said, "I want to learn to trade. I want to do this." Now, if you want inspiration in life, you need to understand that, I took a different path in my life. When I was 15, I was living with Hell's Angels down in Portswood in Southampton. I could have gone down a completely different path. And yet I chose law enforcement. And I never regretted my decision. 58 years old now, doing really well, really happy, but I never regretted that decision. And then I talked to TJ, and he told, well, I've put it in the email. Most of you seen it. What a story. What a nice guy. Now, I haven't met him. Okay, we will meet. But he's really keen to be a good trader. And he loves the idea of trading because it gives freedom in some areas. But you can lose money, let me be clear. And so we had a long conversation, and he's in the room. I'm sure we can make him a presenter, so we can. In fact, Glenn, can I ask you to do that? Can you? He's in the room here. He should be. Maybe he's
Yeah,
disappeared.
Gary, yeah, definitely we
Yeah,
can.
no,
Yeah.
they've made me one already.
Oh, there you go. He's here. All right, there you go. So there you go. One step ahead of me. I'm just rubbish. So let me introduce you all to TJ and Tiru and the guys. This is TJ. He lives in
Hi,
London.
TJ.
Happy to be
TJ,
here.
just give us a quick background, and then we'll go to the charts. But it just be helpful because a lot of people are on YouTube and a lot of people are listening to this on the recording. They will do. You and I have met, but from completely different backgrounds, right? So I'm an ex-policeman and you're an ex-gang member.
Yeah,
Tira's gonna
correct.
love this one. So we'll take him out for a beer, but if you argue with him, he's gonna pull the gun out on you.
No, no way. No way, no way.
So yeah, TJ, welcome to the webinar. I know we did a great event yesterday. It had thousands of views, by the way, and I've got a lot of inquiries to give you. Just a very brief. I mean, don't have to keep it long. Where did you come from, and why are you now becoming a trader?
From South London, for those that don't know, it's very gang orientated in London London in general, but South London, I'd say, is that tips it off a bit. Obviously been to prison, out of prison, changed my life around, I'd say about going on 8, 9 years now, from the last time I was in prison. Came out, find it difficult to try and get a job, obviously for personal circumstances, and I needed to find a way to try and obviously make some money and better myself. And done the normal thing, what most people do in my generation, is hit YouTube and how to make money online, etc., etc. Came across all of the other things like drop shipping and all those types of stuff, and that just wasn't for me. Then I came across trading, knew about trading but didn't understand it properly, and decided to take a deep dive into it. And here I am 4 years later.
The thing I liked, TJ, that the people fed back to me on email was your honesty and the fact that you've told people that you've been in prison, that you're an ex gang member, and that's true. South London, well, that's where I was a policeman in Croydon. So there is a relationship there straight away. But the interesting thing is you've taken on volume spread analysis now and SMI. You know, we're looking at the two different things. What drew you, and then we'll hand over to the charts because I know what's what people want to see. But just out of interest, what drew you to trading? Why? What was it that you just click a button and you haven't got to go out with a gun? I'm joking, but
No, honestly, I'll be honest, the first thing about trading was, oh, it's got the potential to just sit back and just click a button. But little did I know that it's just not as easy as that. Also, I'd like to say that as I started learning more about trading, I started understanding about like the risk, and obviously from my previous, I was a heavy risk taker, so that kind of fit my personality. And I'd like to say the money as well. When you actually do get it right and become successful in it, then it pays brilliantly. Haven't experienced that yet, of course, but I know hard work and dedication and consistency. Hopefully, I'll be able to reap the benefits of it.
mm. And final question before I hand over to Tyrrell, and we'll go to the charts. Um, you admitted that you had an alcohol problem, drug problem, all of those things. You said that to me. Um, you've been clean for a 2 or 3 months, which is great.
Yeah, I had an alcohol problem. I'd never been into drugs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, alcohol. Yeah, for about 15 years from the age of 18. Well, it's probably a bit longer than that. Yeah, so about 15 years. I'm 35 now. So from the age of 18, I was drinking heavy for obviously past problems and trying to run away from it. And obviously, I've been learning to trade for 4 or 5 years, and trust me, from speaking from experience, alcohol and trading just doesn't mix, and I've lost a bit of money out of it. And yeah, look, it's probably common sense, but yeah, I was lacking that at the time, and obviously, alcohol clouds a lot of things. But yeah, I'm 3 months clean now, no alcohol, and I believe it's going to stay that way because I don't really want to go back.
Okay, so volume spread analysis, just before we get to the charts with Tiru. Now, you'll meet Tiru, you'll meet me up in London at the event we're doing. Looking forward to that. Um, how did you find VSA to start with, volume spread analysis? How did that all come about?
So for the past 3 or 4 years of trying to trade or trying to, do you know what it was? Yeah, I was in the stage of looking for that what's the word they call it now? Or they've always called it that magic indicator, that magic
Oh,
not
it's called the Holy Grail.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, so I was
It's a complete load of rubbish,
yeah,
by the
no,
way.
yeah. So I was going through that for quite a while. I kind of from about a year ago, I started realizing there isn't a holy grail and started attempting to educate myself with old school traders. I came across Wyckoff, and that was just a bit too technical for me. And obviously, he's writing from the 1930s, and I find it difficult to comprehend books now as it is. So that was just a no-no from me. And then obviously I started researching and trying to find it simplified as such. And then I came across volume. I came across someone else. I don't know if you want me to mention the person, but
Well, you can no, you can be completely frank. You know, that's what
yeah,
we
so I
do.
came across Anna Colin. I think that's how
Yeah,
you pronounce her
yeah, I've
name.
met Anna. Yeah.
And although she is very similar to the way you trade, she just didn't really give me that I just the definition I was looking for, like I proper dig deep into things in it. So like I need to be told this, as you know, Gavin, that, and I'm always asking questions, etc. So her book just wasn't enough for me. So I had to go on so I had to go on even more of a search, and then I came across you. And yeah, the way you were breaking things down, I watched a couple of Tom Williams's webinars that you've got on your channel, and I thought, yeah, this is it for me. And it's the way you lot simplify it, to be honest. I think that's the main thing for me, because a lot of educators now, they just complicate a lot of stuff that I don't think needs to be complicated, whether it's to sell people more courses or to keep people hanging on. I don't know. I can't speak for them. But I just think the way you lot break things down, you just simplify it a bit, and that's what works for me. And down to wanting to be involved in volume spread analysis is within my trading, I've always found it hard to remain in a trade, not necessarily to enter a trade, but when to get out of a trade. So when to remain in a trade and when to get out of a trade. And I find that volume spread analysis, it gives me that assurance as such, or gives me an indication as such when to either get out of the trade or when to remain in the trade. And for me, that's what's basically kind of transformed my trading at the moment.
Good. I'm going to hand back to Tiru in a second here, but let me just bring Tiru in. Tiru and I come from the same sort of background, but differently, like you and I are. And he's put up his screens. We can look at gold. We can look at, and that's Tiru there. You'll meet Tiru at some point because you're in London, and I'm going to be coming up to London. The ultimate thing here is to understand that you've gone through a transformation, a journey, but we're here to talk about the charts. Now, the ones I'm looking at, and I'm sure Tyrrell will focus on these, and we'll go through it logically, is gold, which I've done very well with, crude oil, CL, which is futures contracts, by the way. And then if you want to look at the 6J, the 6A, Tyrrell, we can look at that. But ultimately, the message from this webinar is very much of positivity and understanding that, if even if you've been through a tough time, you can make it. And that's why I'm working with you, TJ, because I think you will, well, you're already a reseller. You will be able to talk to people about this because you're going to look, you've learned a lot, and I think it's vital. So with that being said, let's get to charting. I've got trades on, and I'm going to hand you now to, and obviously Tiru and TJ, you'll meet at some point. Really important. You're both in London. I'm going to come up to London. We'll go for lunch, and we'll have a great time. So Tiru, I'm going to hand over to you. What are you seeing at the moment? I've got gold and I've got the NASDAQ right on the charts here, and I'm in trades.
Great, Gavin. TJ, nice listening to you as well. Very good. Just tells everyone that no matter what and where you come from, as long as you got a determination and consistency, you can always get to where you want to get to. Now, coming in over here, so I was just taking a look as Gavin and TJ were talking just now. I was taking a look at some traders, and some potential trades. I took a look at the DAX trade just now because on GBPUSD, I was taking a look at it earlier. It's just that in terms of its range, it has kind of just done that. It's not towards our bias for today, even though we got a longer term long position on that. In terms of DAX, let me carry you through the analysis what we've done. So the first thing we always look, those of you who've been following us for quite some time, you will see that using both price and volume principles, usually what we do is we look at the analysis of the bar that is forming today, and we use a recurring principle. So one of the recurring principles we look at is if the range of the bar has formed today or not, because a range of a bar keeps recurring, isn't it, right? And that's what forms the high and the low, right? And it forms an average true range. So that is one basis on which we formed this strategy that we usually share on this Wednesday and Thursday live streams. And then we combine a few other principles, right? And then you can pile up the price and the volume on top of this. So that's what we're doing here. But, just an example, just to show you, doesn't mean that you've got to make every strategy based on range capture. You can do that on anything, right? But follow the principles. It's got to be based on a recurring principle. So here on DAX, what I can see is the range it has done, this indicator you can see on the right-hand side, which was done by one of our clients. You can see that was 179 points of range between the high and the low. It's already doing that calculation for me. And in terms of the ATR, the average range, so if you can read out from here, if I hover around this bar, today, or yesterday's bar to be accurate, that's about 239 points. Okay, so usually we look at about 80% ATR, and that we are looking at about 192. So this hasn't done it yet, so it's still about 12 more points to go, and that's what we are looking to capture. Okay, of course, if it comes down, then you got a bigger more towards your target profit potential. So now taking a look at that, then the next thing what we then do, as I explained yesterday on our live stream as well, on our Master the Markets channel, is that you can see that over here, our smart money indicator quantifies what a top and a bottom is. Okay, so according to that, the trend identification at the moment, there's no trend, and the reason for that is because it's a lower high than that, and as a higher low, it doesn't fit into a trend definition, so therefore it's a single market compression at the moment. Okay, and that's towards the downside. Now currently, why I'm using this at the moment, I can even do this on TradingView as well, because sometimes I place the trades on the MetaTrader platform on Trade Nation. That's why I just use that for congruency. But I'll just open it up here as well, and then we will take a look at this later. I usually use this when I analyze the volume along there as well. Okay, so I'll let that load up for now, and we will take a look at that very shortly. So now coming back to here, you can get the idea what I'm saying. I'll put this in candlesticks. I know some of you like candlesticks. You can see it more clearly as well. On the 4-hour, you see, because we got everything quantified, the tops and bottoms, I can immediately see what trend it is on the 4-hour. Those of you find this quite a bit fast and not really getting it, don't worry, I'll give some reference links later on, okay? So over here on the SMC is a single market compression again, but however, on this one, on the 4-hour, that's towards the upside, okay? Because the last swing that was confirmed by our smart money indicator was on the upside. Now, using VSA principles, some of you will be able to see from the background, okay? And interesting enough, my mentor's mentor who actually designed this indicator, the smart money framework indicator, was based on Richard Wyckoff's principles, basically. All they did was just quantify those principles. So if you really look at price action over here, what it's doing is that it's accumulating, right? But this formula just tells us that in that accumulation, it's made a higher low. In other words, it has done a test towards this bottom over here, okay? So the principles are all there, it's just the quantification. Now, the other thing we can see is that, so I'm collecting all of this in the table on my other screen over here, and I'll show that to you very shortly. And the 1-hour time frame, and that will tie in with our topic for today as well, how to forecast market direction in advance, okay? And then the other one over here is that this one has got an uptrend phase 1. It already broke that neckline. You see again, we can see a nice accumulation there, big test over there, comes back, tests that area of that bar, and then it springs forward, okay? Now they are just looking to see, what we got to see is that if that selling pressure is true, or is it just a shakeout at the moment. We'll come to that in a minute. But you see, I'm forming the overall picture and correlating the time frames, you see. So over here on the 1-hour, you can see that that's an uptrend phase 1 as indicated by here. So you can see the importance of quantifying the tops and bottoms. In fact, in reference to what TJ was saying, and a lot of other clients do say as well about exits, where to exit. And I'm going to show you something later on, which is based on probability statistics, which you can apply on any strategy that you have, okay? Right, so over here on this one here, so it's got an uptrend phase 1 as well on the 15 minutes. So I've got that all collected. I'll show that to you guys in a minute. And then you can see that, let me just show that to you on the table. You see over here, I've got it all collected, okay? So when I just analyze trend and directions, I can see that at least 3 time frames are all pointing to the upside, okay? This forms part of my direction bias. However, in alignment with my bar formation strategy, right, towards capturing the range, I've got a few more things to analyze before I fully formulate my direction bias, okay? And that is where we talk about the bar mechanics. And part of the bar mechanics, what we look at something called the stretch principle, okay? So let me do that over here. And so when I look at the bar mechanics, I'll go on to this chart over here. When I go on to this one here, onto the bar mechanics, let me just see, I'll do that on the 1-hour time frame, much more quicker. You can quickly see it. So you can see that over here, On the stretched line, it's taken out the upper stretch over here, right? And also it's taken out both actually. You see, it's taken out the lower and the upper ones. I'll give you some reference links on this later on as well. And then in terms of the range lines, it's taken out its last upper range line, and just the most recent one as well. It's taken out both the range lines. The other thing is that the Bro to ST ratio is also towards the upside. The only thing is that previous daily high and low is taken out the previous daily low. So when I take a look at all of this, you see, this formulates only the first part, okay, of my analysis. So if I take a look, all three time frames are pointing towards the upside trend as well as the phases and direction wise. The bar mechanics, you see, three of them are all pointing to the upside. So what I've got is actually I've got 6 parameters out of 8 pointing all to the upside, okay? So that's what formulates my bias towards the long, right? Towards the upside. Now, just because I've got a bias towards the upside, we don't randomly go and enter on this particular seller bar at the moment, unless you have got other parameters in place. Remember that direction bias is only one out of the 5 components of your strategy, okay? And in terms of entry rules, direction bias is only half of it, because all the parameters that you actually put forward, all your VSA principles, your price action, your SMI framework, whatever you may be using, stochastic RSI, is towards 2 objectives only. One is direction bias, 2, timing. When do you get into the trade? Okay, that's what this is all about. Now, so in terms of that, so when do I get into the trade? So now that I've formulated my direction bias, okay, so when do I get into this trade? So I'm getting now into hitting the trigger button, okay. When do I get into this long? Okay, when is this showing me that the buying pressure is going to come back? Now, when I take a look at this, what we will take a look at now, if I go lower into a lower time frame, what I will then see is at least for some strength to come in. Then I analyze my swings. Yeah, this is my last bottom to top swing. Over here, traders, what I can see is that the confirmation bar came around here. Okay, currently we are here on the right side of the chart. Those of you guys who have understood all of this, and I know some of you are implementing this into your strategy, some of our clients and VSA clients as well, you would have taken this much more earlier in the morning. But now if you got in to come and trade this in the US session rather than the European session, then where we are right now in this chart is that we can see a little bit of consolidation here. It's struggling to go towards the top side. If I want to see more strength come back into this swing, it will be for the high of this, okay? Or if I want to go much more lower, I can do that as well. And I can see for some areas where it can, the strength can come back up again. So one of the first areas is around here. After this selling, then it comes back into buying again. And the next one is around here, okay? So this would be the 2 areas I can take a look at for earlier or aggressive entries, okay? But the later entry will be here. But however, now coming into looking at the overall part of this strategy that we are implementing over here, because from a swing perspective, there'll be low open equity on this as well, towards whatever target that we may be taking. So we will actually step aside from this, from in taking towards a proper reward to risk ratio. But if there are other ones on a lower time frame towards a swing capture, then we can start to take a look at that. What we can do is, what ideally I would like is if this top confirms, and then after that, then we get a bottom confirmation. Now, however, those of you who still believe that there is a continuation move here and it will still carry on with this swing, what I can do is I can mark out some of the target areas here. So let me do that. So over here, as I said, is 192, isn't it? So 239 is what I got. So it's 191. So from the low, if you were to do a range, 23558 plus 191. So let me do that. So 23558 plus 191. So 23749. Okay. So 23749 is what I'm doing. Remember that, okay, this may be on the DAX instrument, but you can do this on any instrument at all because we're teaching you in terms of principles, right? So 23749, sorry, 23749. and that's what I've got over here at the moment. Okay, so that's what we got once it takes up that. If I want to get a much more earlier entry, what I will take a look at, if my stop for the test of that bar over there, and I will keep an eye on this. And we can see that if it does confirm, this hasn't confirmed as well, so I'm not really getting any hits. If you want to take a look at the 1 minute chart, that's the break that you can see if you want to get in for an earlier entry. And the SMI, highly probably, if it does confirm, it will confirm over there. But then if I were to take it on a 5 minute, my earliest entry can come around here, right? If it holds itself there, and a stop for being here. But remember, if I did that, then my swing, I'll be riding this swing over here. Okay, we are quite used to the 15-minute time frame, so you know what, I will step aside and see how this performs. You see, traders, most important thing is that if it doesn't fit with your strategy rules, take a step back, sit on your hands. You don't need to force a trade in. Okay, right? So that's what we will do on this one here. The last thing I also want to take a look at is for volume direction as well. So over here, let me just put our latest indicators. After this, I'm going to pass over to Gavin to look at the gold as well. So over here, what we will take a look at is, so I think it should load up the SMI indicator at the moment. I can see a very strong volume backing over here, which is supporting this bottom over there. And that's why I need a bit of SMI confirmation as well. And the trigger lines are being drawn by the trade to win package over here on the VSA indicators. So as I said, from SMI itself, this is the place where it's flagging to enter as well, but only towards a very small profit target is what we're looking at. Okay, this is what we got at the moment. We will wait patiently and see if our setup gets in a bit more stronger. What I will be more comfortable with is if this top confirms, then I get another SMI confirmation. So that's when I will take a look at that. Okay, right. So saying all of that, I will keep an eye on this, and if there's anything really pops up, I'll put it onto the Telegram channel. Those of you already there, that's great. And those of you have been asking a lot for the reference links. The first thing I would say is to understand the smart money framework and the 3 probability stats that it gives you. I would say check out 7stepstoctp.com. Those of you already on the Zoom session, we will already send that to you through our email, so you get this free video course to look at. Highly recommend it. Over 15 years of collated research over here. Once you put your details, click on the green button, click on Not a Robot, then you get this sent, all the 7 videos to you that you can watch at your own free time. Okay. This was all designed by the quants. We collated it all together, and then we've put this for you. This can be applied on any strategy. After we did this, actually, and we got invited to quite a few places to talk, and then our thing really went viral, especially on Ninja Trader. It hit 25,000 views in 1 month as well. And that was actually we got referred to Ninja Trader by Gavin, and then we got invited to talk over there based on price and volume about 11 times. So it's very well worth it to look at these 7 videos. And also the Society of Technical Analysis as well. We were invited to come and speak there, and also lecture for the diploma students after that as well. The other thing is, if you guys want to get the indicators onto your screens, okay, just like what you're seeing over here on the cable and on the DAX and all of that, right? And having all the volume and the VSA and all of that on here, go to this page, SMI and VSA, okay, and you can get that onto your screens. You can look through it. Any questions, you can also email us as well. And then over here on the YouTube channel, if you want to follow us real time when we go live stream on Wednesdays and Thursdays, what you can do is that you can hit the subscribe button and hit the all bell icon. By doing the all bell icon, I know some of you tell us that Tiru and Gavin, we are subscribed, but we don't get a notification on the phone when you guys go live, and I miss some of your videos. So you click on the all bell icon for that. And then also what you can do is whenever we go live, or let's say you don't have time, okay, to log in to watch it live, then you can also then watch the replay, right? So after we've come off live, it will just be put over here. So yesterday's one is here. So you guys can watch it at any time that you want to as well. And all the previous ones that we've done with Gavin, you can see it. This is amazing because this is where you really learn, okay? So after you got the fundamentals and the principles from all the 7 videos over here, you can go onto the YouTube channel and see how we apply that in real time, okay? And that's where you can see it all. You can see where the trades are going to the losses, where you straight away go losses, or it comes so straight to the, very near to the stop and then reverses and then goes all the way towards the target. You can see that all in real time and action and documented, okay? Using price and volume on both things, and where some of them just straight go to the target as well. Now, so that's on the YouTube channel. Another thing what I will also refer you guys to is also the must watch section on the stretch principle. If you guys want to understand the stretch principle, look through that. That would be really, really good one to watch as well. So lots of good quality content there. The other thing is trade guided channels. Remember to do the same thing. What you do is after you subscribe, hit the all bell icon as well, okay? And then when you go on the live section over here, you can see currently we are live. Some of you have got notification, and that's where you are here as well. And then on Trade Nation, quick shout out to them that because of them only we got a Telegram channel and so now as well. And those of you who haven't joined the Telegram channel, you can join that as well, where when we go live, you'll get the signals and you can learn in real time. The purpose of the signal group is really so that you learn this principle, so that you learn how to fish and not just be handed over the fish, okay? So that's the whole idea of that. Last quick shout out, I just want to talk about the annual summit. That's going to happen on the 10th and 11th of October. It happens once a year. For these 2 days it will happen. There is also our online tickets just released just about 1 week ago. The in-person is almost filled up. We just had 2 more people just come in on the in-person. Yesterday expressed the interest as well. And then the onlines are still there. So there's only about very few in-person tickets. If you guys want it, you can grab it. You can see all the links over there on the chat. I'll talk a little bit more about this later on. There'll be live trading here. Me and Gavin will be there. And we'll talk about a lot about in-depth price and volume analysis, research updates. You meet some amazing people. On both days, there'll be lunch provided. First evening, there'll be dinner. So it's an amazing time to really get together, re-energize, re-inspire ourselves before the new year as well. So it's a great way to finish the year. And that would be really good to see as many of you over there. I think with that said, Gavin, I think I'll pass it on to you to look at gold as well. And you can do the analysis over there.
Oh, it's going to be good. I've got some good news and some bad news for all of you. The bad news is that we're on a budget, so Tiru's going to be cooking lunch. He's going to be doing his speciality Indian dish. I can't wait to taste it, but I think it's got mushrooms. No, seriously, we've got a really good event lined up, and we're doing it online as well because people in America, Canada, Australia that are in this room now listening, they said, well, we can't, we've got things to do, we can't fly over. So we are going to do it online. I think that's going to be really important. But let's get to some of the charts because we've talked with TJ, you've heard the story. Let's get to it. So I'm going to share my chart because I'm in 4 trades right now.
Go for it, Gavin. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna put up first of all the Nasdaq, and I just went short on the 15-minute time frame. Now you can tell me if you can see that you should be able to see it, but you will be able to any minute. I'm going to share my screen, and you should now be able to see the Nasdaq. Can you all see that?
Yeah, can see it, Gary. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Okay, watch. This is the sort of things we're going to teach you. So I go to a 1-minute time frame. You go, well, why would you do a 1 minute? Because of that and that. Can this work? Now this is. I've got the questions from the emails. Would this work on a small time frame? I'll show you a tick chart in a minute. But what you've got here, now I haven't specifically put the SMI indicators over this because Tiru's already showed them. I'm just trying to keep it simple. This is going to go down. Watch. Watch what's about to happen. Because the volume on this up move and where it's marked out, followed by the up thrust, is weakness. It's not strength. And that's why it's collapsed. Now that's taken 6 minutes. Put 100 lots on, you're making a lot of, you could make a mortgage, you could pay your house off if you get it right. But now we're going to analyze the right edge of the chart. We're not going to bother with the background because you've got the background. Okay? You've got here weakness, the up thrust, you've got a potential selling. Now we've got to see this bar close lower than that. And actually, this is what I like about TradingView. It says, careful what you wish for, right? And it talks about it. It's news. Watch each bar. I'll analyze each bar. And we'll do it for a few minutes. And I'll show you where it's going. And I've got all my email alerts through, I'm using TradingView, but I'm also using Smart Center, which is the other product we've got. Every single bar is going to tell me a story. Okay, it's going to break this low. Okay, that's almost definite. And then once you've got the program, you know, as Tiru said, we've got the SMI indicator, we've got the VSA indicators. They're there as a guide. The reason we called the company Trade Guider is very simple. It's a guide. But we look at the background. Here and here on a 1 minute chart, the sellers started to take control. And now they're in control. Now watch. Don't take my word for it. Look at the chart. Charts don't lie. Now you might say, well, it might pop up. It could do. On a 1 minute chart, it could actually pop, but highly unlikely. But it doesn't matter because ultimately what Tiru and I are going to teach you at the event is risk control. How do you manage risk? Okay. You manage risk by looking at a chart and looking at each bar. And Tiru is an expert. I mean, it's funny when we met, and Tiru will tell you this story, and it's going to go now. It's about to go. And we do this live. And this is what really frustrates me a little bit, if I'm being honest, is you show this stuff live and people say, oh no, I want to see a PowerPoint. I want to see what happened in the past. Absolute rubbish. We're going to do everything live and we'll trade live. And, you know, Tiru's got a very good relationship with Trade Nation and I've looked into them. They look pretty good to me, so I don't have a problem. But what we look at is each bar. And so where Tiru and I come from is two areas. Number one is chart reading, which, you know, when I first met Tiru, and he'll probably tell you the same story, he had a big banner on his booth at a show that I think it was the London Traders Expo, whatever it was. He said, "Master the Markets." I said, "Oh, he's copying us." Because that's what Tom Williams' book is called. The late Tom Williams. And I went over to the booth and spoke to some of the ladies there and I said, you know, the Master of the Markets, that's what we do. And anyway, long story short, Tiru and I became very good friends. And I trust him because he's an expert in, you know, and what you're seeing right now is really good. You're seeing a marker. And that's exactly how it should be, because markets don't just take off to the downside all the time. You need to see the evidence. And there's no indications in VSA yet. There will be. And I'm 99.9% certain there will be, but they're not there. And people are, I tell you what, traders are impatient. They go, I really need to be in this trade. I really need to press that button. No, you don't. You wait. The description I had earlier with a client in Australia was whipsawing. He said, I just don't understand that I go short and the market goes against me. I said, it's whipsawing. You've got no indication here, nothing on this 1 minute chart. You've got no red signal. You've got no green signals. That's deliberate. But the trend is definitely up in the big time frame. Now, what I want to show you is when an indicator comes in, and then I'm going to place the trade. But I can't do it right now. I'm sorry. And it might be boring to many of you going, oh, come on, Gavin. You know, it's whatever time it is in Australia. I really need to go to bed or whatever. You wait. Watch. The market is actually pushing higher because it's being marked up on a small time frame. This is 1 minute chart, because I was asked this earlier in an email, and this gentleman has just brought the software. He said, can I use this on a small time frame? 100%. Watch. But it doesn't happen instantly, you see. That's the problem. Everyone wants instant gratification. That's the problem with social media. You have to watch, and you'll see if I will be correct. But that doesn't matter if I am or I'm not. I manage the risk. Do I see those lines at the top, which are projected by the software? They're resistance lines, and that's what they've hit. That's why it's going down. And that happens all the time. It's very common. It goes to that resistance area where those orange lines are programmed into the software, into TradingView. They're there. And now you just watch. This is live. Now I'm going to ask Tiru a question here, because it's something that it's close to my heart, and it's certainly close to his. Tiru, what else could we do than show live charts like this, where the market is actually reacting to resistance, and the SMI indicator on my other screen is showing the same thing? Is there anything else that we can do?
Not really, actually, Gavin. You know what? I mean, just to reinstate the fact, I mean, I'll just share my screen over here. We took a trade on,
Take the screen, by all means, yeah.
we took a trade on DAX. I think you guys who were on the Telegram channel just now, all well documented as well. And you saw that, which I was talking about. I'll show it on TradingView. I think it's easier because we got all the volume indicators over there as well. So to give you a reference idea, take a look at the Telegram channel where we got in. You see how the trigger line is? And we got in here. It's just that we need to talk to those guys about that. 23749 was where the target was over here, right? So if I go back onto here again, so let me do that. So if I were to, let me just bear with me a bit, and let me just get this right. This one, right, 23749, isn't it? Is what I got, and the high is 23748. It's a little bit of small price discrepancy. Sometimes, guys, you can get that as well. So you just got to be careful towards that. Let me just put the line as maybe this one here. Yeah, that's much more clearer. Okay, we got it. Okay, so this is what we got over here. So if you take a look at this high over here, 23748. So you just barely touched it. But however, you see on here, on this chart here, on the 5 minute, it's gone past through that. So you got to compare it against different data that you're getting produced, but just trade on only one
New visitor.
speed. Okay, so that's what you're going to be taking a look at. So I saw that it had hit the target already on this chart, which I'm keeping it consistent. So once I've seen that happen, then I just exited the trade live basically on the Telegram channel, and that's what you guys saw over there, over here on our trading channel, Telegram channel. Sorry, on the DAX. Now, I still believe there's a bit more move left in this, but on terms of 5 minute, in terms of our target, we've hit it and we've come out. What was the basis for that target? Was for the range capture. It was a very small scalp, but that's the best we could do, just to show you in real time the power of analyzing price and volume. Okay, even though this is not our ideal real setup, we would have preferred it more to come back down, confirm the top, and then after that go up towards the target. But because we didn't see that, we saw a full confirmation of price strength. We just took it towards a smaller target over here, towards the range capture. And if you take a look at the 15-minute, you can see, right? So after all of this consolidation, it's still strong. SMI didn't confirm the top. And those of you who are riding the swing right from the morning, you'll still be in that swing through all of these retracements, and you would have hit your range capture target if you have a range capture target as of now. And that, if you look back at all the recording, what I was explaining all just now before, you can see all of it correlating, and it will start to make sense. And you look at this daily chart over here, you see the range is now gone up to 197, and that's what we were looking for. Do you remember, traders? Right, as I said, 191 in terms of range capture. Before it was about 179. Okay, so we did that last part. We got on what we wanted, very clear, and we came out of it, and we correlated that with a swing. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Like those of you joining in for the first time, you saw that in real time. That's what me and Gavin do, and we also analyzed that in terms of price and volume. Saw that there was a big volume confirmation, potential buying confirmation as well by the trade to win package, and then I saw that from the trigger line as well, that has come out of that. VSA light is green also, took it towards where we wanted to get out, and that's pretty much it. But this swing is quite overextended, so those of you who want to ride it still, I'll just be a bit wary. It might continue on with its trend, but it might have a little bit of retracement, confirm the top before it goes up further. So you just got to be careful of that and know exactly what swing you're looking to capture, what swing you're looking to ride, where is your target, and all of that. Sorry, Gavin, I just wanted to talk about that. It's all on the Telegram channel as well. Those of you who are on it, you would have seen that trade come true.
Yeah, no, brilliant, brilliant. And I think that comes down to everything in trading. I'm looking at the Nasdaq hitting the resistance line, and it's just not going to go through it at the moment. And in fact, I think it's going to collapse. But we'll look, and we'll show the chart, and you can see it. And I'm using a small time frame. Now, I've got emails. People are asking about SMI, and they're asking about, and we've got some great guys out there in India, Glenn. I'm just going to keep it simple. There are people that can help you. Can I share my screen, Terry?
Yeah, go for it, Gavin.
Yeah, because we have got testing of supply, and it's a really good way of judging what the market's trying to do. So let me put this up. Just bear with me. Because we're right on the edge here, and this is a lovely example of a test in a rising market. And sometimes you just got to, go with the flow. So okay, so I'm going to put this up. Oh, that's a beautiful example. Right, okay. So tell me when you can see my screen, everyone, please.
Yeah, we can. We saw charts.
Can,
Yeah, we can see the charts. Yes. Can
can you
everyone
see my
else see
screen?
it? How about the rest of you? If you all can see it, that'd be. If you can just type in yes, that'd be great. Thanks for that, Tom. I saw your question as well, Tom. I will talk about that later. Stephen Franco, nice to see you. Tom Sullivan, Ryan, Rob, yeah, the regulars. Very nice to see you
New
guys.
visitor.
Yeah, Gavin, go for it. Yeah, they can see your screen.
Okay, good. All right. So this is a 1 minute chart of the NASDAQ, right? Now, we just had 2 minutes ago or 3 minutes ago a test in a rising market after this, which is absorption volume. But it's in limbo land. And so if you're going to trade this and you want to trade it, you've got to wait. And I will spend a few minutes on this because if it starts to fall and it starts to collapse, it'll be a great short. But at the moment, it's not, because that here, that look at the volume on it, that is absorption. And that is a test of the top of absorption. That's really Tom Williams talking to me and saying, wait. So unfortunately, everything is telling me it's green, and I've changed the time frames on multiple time frames I've got on the other computer. But I do feel
New visitor.
yeah, okay. Now I'm getting alerts as well. So we have to wait. We cannot, and you should not take a trade in here because you're in a zone, right? You see the selling, the up thrust, and then it's gone up and it's reversed and it's not yet there yet. It's not ready. You're paid to be patient. I know that sounds odd. People say, well, I need to be in. I need to get in there. No, you don't. Watch. I mean, I've dedicated this afternoon to obviously being with Tiru and TJ and Kyron and Glenn in India, and they're here in the room, and you can talk to them. They're great. And then we've appointed a new office in New Delhi. I want you to just watch. It's a 1 minute time frame, and I've got SMI on the other screen. Watch what's about to happen, and you'll see, because everything's lighting up. It's very close. And when I'm talking to Tiru about the markets, we come to the same conclusion. Price and volume is vital. So here's what I'm going to predict. And I don't like prediction, but it's going to go there. 21,906. It's going to happen in the next 3-4 minutes. How can I possibly know that? Watch. I've been doing this 27 years. I'm pretty good at it. But this is the thing I did learn. If it does go against you, close the trade. Don't worry about it. Watch it break. Oh, great email. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, yeah. How long will it take? Don't know. No idea. It could still go up a bit. No problem for me. You analyze the bar as it closes. Okay. So what have we got? We got a close on the low, a close on the low, and it's still in an uptrend. So remember, it's in an uptrend, but we're on a 1 minute time frame. Okay, and the background is key. You see this line? That's there, and that's why it's acting as resistance. That's emailed me. Now, that's what the software is very good. Software is very good analyzing price bars, which human beings don't do very well. So there's your resistance line, and that's what's happening right now. It's resisting here and here and here because of this. Now watch. And I'm sure Tiru would say the same thing. It's like, well, he looks at price and volume. I look at price and volume. Now we need to watch this bar. It's a 1 minute bar. People saying to me, oh, you can't use a 1 minute bar. Yeah, it doesn't work. Watch. Watch. It does. It goes up, it goes down. I mean, the 1 minute bar is noisy. It's like a baseball. It's like a basketball. Baseball, basketball. It does. You bounce it around. It goes up, it goes down. You put it in the net, whatever. This will do exactly what it's doing on the tin. It's testing, it's reversing. Okay. What you want to see is the baseball breaking this low. Now, how many contracts do you want to put on? Maybe none, maybe lots. I don't know what size you trade, but ultimately we know that I mean, Thierry, you talk about this with the quants. You talk about the dance of the market. Can you explain that? Because that's exactly what's happening here. It's going up and then it's trying to go down, and it's not really making a move yet.
Of course, yeah, Gavin. You know what? That's what was happening around in DAX as well. Actually, let me show them some quick numbers on this, right? So that's
Yeah,
what.
yeah. I'll stop the share and I'll tell you when I've added to the position. But yeah,
Yeah, so you know what? I guess the guys can see it right now. So what you guys can see, right, traders? Let me just put back the SMI on this again, and you can see it. Now, some of you can see, right, on the DAX, we had our target here. It's hit it and then coming back to test it, or some selling is happening as well. You can call it whatever you want at the moment. We don't know. But the point is, it's not about whether this is going to reverse, going to carry on more further up. The point is you hit your target objective for your strategy and you're out, okay? That's what the entire thing is about. Now here, let me see if I can do this. And if I can get the SMI on there, that'd be great. And then we can analyze the data together. So you see, in terms of probability stats, right? I always tell all the clients that trading is based on probabilities, okay? So if trading is based on probabilities, then we need to look at the probability stats on how much probability is there to get towards this particular target in that swing move. So what we got here with the quants, and the first step is to quantify what the top and bottom is, which is what we've done over here, right, traders? What you can see. Then what we did is, actually, inspiring thing here is that a client that joined us about 4 years ago before COVID, when he saw us in one of the exhibitions, and then he joined us, got very inspired with what we have done, and then he volunteered, to quote the entire trading view on the trading view, right? So that's how we get all these actually stats that you're going to be seeing, all these indicators on trading view. Just a click of a button. Before it used to be on MetaTrader for a very long time, and now it's on TradingView for the last 4-5 years. Now on here you can see that what I've got is the OE stats over here, right? So in that OE stats, what it's telling me right now is that from the point the race starts or the swing starts, which is the dot, that's your point A, the point A of the race, okay? All the way to the maximum point, how much distance each swing doing, right? Or each runner doing, okay? All these things, that's why it's collecting all of that, 26, 14, 0, 34, all of that, and puts it all onto this table. So now it tells me on the 15-minute time frame, that's about 2,365 moves. Now out of that, right, how many of those swings get to, let's say, 30 points? There's only 50% of them. How many of them get to 15 points? That's about 66% of them. So this actually manages your expectations on how much you want to let it run, what kind of strategy you want to create as well. Now, if you want to get the longer distances, because some of them you may argue looking at some things over here, hey, Thiru, you know, but this has gone to like 70, 80 points, right? Up to the top over there. Now, if you want to do that, then you have to select. You don't trade all the dots. This is not a buy and sell indicator. Even the trade to win packages, they are all not buy and sell indicators, right? And most buy and sell indicators, they don't last for very long. A black box system doesn't last for very long. You need to have lots of discretion, not discretion. What I would say is a lot of adaptation factored into it. Okay, and of course, if you still want to do it towards a fully automated system, and people have done that, you need very solid thinking behind it and solid coding behind it as well. Okay, but you need to be very clear on what you want to actually do. Now, so based on that, you can get all this data. And also one more cool thing, what we did recently with all our research that we're also going to be sharing on the summit as well, on the annual summit, you can also then filter out just the phase ones, right? That just go along with the trends. Now, when I just do that, then you can immediately then also start to see that, you know, out of the phase ones basically, so it's looking to churn the data out. So of course there'll be much lesser swings, but you see immediately the distance that it goes is much more, okay? About 70%, 60% of them go to 25 points rather than just 10 points that you saw just now, okay? That's all in the 15-minute time frame. Now, with more factors included in there, when we look at price, we look at volume, all the trade to win package and the SMI and the VSA all combined together, that's when these probabilities go up as well. Now, you see, based on our topic for today, how do you spot market direction in advance? Me and Gavin have shown you that in real time. If I want to take that a bit more in detail, firstly, you would think about, okay, what is market direction? In the market, there's only two types, isn't it? Either towards the upside or the downside, either the long or the short. Now, why do you want to get the right direction? That's pretty simple to answer, because you want to be in the right direction and be profitable. But, however, what you got to be careful is on the how side, okay? Now, how do we then capture that move? As I explained just now in the earlier part of the recording, that, you know, you got, for direction bias, you need first for your entry, you need your direction bias as well as some timing as well. So when you come into the how section on how do you capture the market direction in advance and still be profitable, now you've got to be very careful, okay? So first thing is, how to do that, you have to factor some kind of timing inside, okay, which is what I did in real-time analysis, and Gavin did with the NASDAQ as well, is that what we are looking at is basically some price action and volume confirmation to get in at a particular time. And I also explained myself on why the target is going to be very small and I'm not going to let this run too long as well. Okay, so you saw all of that reason. So one is timing and where you want to get in and why we're not very comfortable with this setup. We also explained that as well. The other thing is, remember, I will just remind you guys once again, direction is only 1 out of 5 components, so it's not the full strategy end or be all. The other thing is very, very important. Remember what I said? I said trading is based on probabilities, right? So when you talk about probabilities, you must understand that when you place that one trade, that's not the end or be all. How can that be, right? Probabilities is made out of a bigger sample size, isn't it? When you say 70% winning rate, it's got to be over like at least 100 trades. Then you get 70, closer to 70. Even when you say a coin toss, it's 50-50. You just can't toss the coin just 3 times and say, you know what, yeah, or 4 times and I've got 50-50. No, you can't. You can get 4 tails in a row. I remember that when we used to play this game in Traders Basecamp Package and the live webinars and the live workshops when we used to do before COVID, is we used to have all these groups and people go into groups, and you can see all the videos actually from past sessions. I mean, people used to play in groups and play that game, the coin toss, and they used to see how they would react with their risk management, how much bet they would put to win against other teams. And you will see that everything that we taught them goes into the bin, but sometimes you will also see that in a row, they can just get like 8 hits in a row out of 10 times which we used to play, right? So to get to the 50-50, you need a larger sample size. So always remember that. So whenever you place that one trade, if you're thinking that, oh yeah, it's got to win, it must win, then you're having the wrong mindset. You're not thinking in terms of probabilities. And trading is a game of probabilities. If you're looking for something which is 100% right all the time, then I would say it's going to be quite difficult to find that, right? So the other thing also what I want you all to remember is the how you get the market direction in advance is remember that finally your net profitability or your loss, right? Your realized profit or loss is based on two things, not only entry, but it's finally determined by where you exit as well. An exit can happen either by hitting your stop loss or hitting your target, or by particular parameters that you've put in place that you will exit live as well. Okay, so all these things you have to put into factor before you can really find out what is the market direction in advance. And to guide you all towards that, this stats table on the SMI framework will help you. One more very powerful one that we have also programmed is the MAE number. So this will tell you how much of the dance it does. That's how Gavin was asking me, Tiro, can you explain a bit more of the dance? And if I were to do that, it will tell you over here as well. So as I enter into the swing, how much of this dance will it do before getting to its maximum point? Okay, so that's what it will tell me here as well. Now this is so powerful for putting your stop losses in a strategic place so that you're convinced and confident about it as well. And I was talking to one other Australian client 2-3 days ago, and he was saying that, you know, before we started our coaching and our programs, before that he was telling me that, you know, he's been trading for 7-8 years and he's not very confident whether he can really become a consistent trader and all that. I said, don't worry, we'll show you the framework, we'll show you all the different stats where you need to imply into your strategy, and your confidence will improve. And guess what? 2 months later, he's talking to me with so much confidence, showing all his spreadsheets and everything, and he started showing me, Tiro, from what you guys taught me, and now I know even when I place my stop, I place my stop, let's say from this example, 50 points away on the DAX example on 15-minute time frame, and I won't get stopped out. I know that I won't get stopped out 95% of the time. Now that's very powerful when this dance happens, right? You know that that happens. You won't get stopped out 95% of the time from that dance if I place it 50 points away.
New visitor.
Exclamation bar, right? So that's what gives you the conviction to then write the move towards your target points. Now, Tom, you had a question. Sorry, I'm going a bit. Definitely easier to trade with the trend. We always say trade with the trend, and we go with even phase ones. That's even more important. And the other one you're asking, Tom, and I was talking about all the DAX, and when you hit the target, can you project a longer swing? Yes, of course you can. You can always do a bigger target as well, but have your parameters adjusted towards that as well. Okay. With bigger targets, remember that with more gains, then you also got to sit in more to the volatility as well. So you got to be prepared for that. And naturally, you need the P word, which is patience. Okay, so I know they always say the biggest wealth is always done over big investments. If you're talking about investment portfolios over 5-10 years of holding, and remember, even with investments, even with Bitcoin, right? Even if you bought Bitcoin about 7-8 years ago when we bought it as well, yes, it has 10 times now, right? About 10-15 times. But to do that, to get that, how much of volatility do you have to sit down? How much of news do you have to hear? Oh, Bitcoin is a scam, is going down, you know, it's 30% down, 40% down, right? And that all happens when you don't understand, if you call it on a layman word, a dance, or if you, technical term is volatility. If you don't understand the volatility,
Yeah,
that can make you scared.
Tiro, just so
Right
you
along
know,
the swing.
I've just added to my position.
Yeah, Gavin, I'm just going to pass it all over to you. I'm just going to finish up.
Yeah,
So
I'm short on 3 contracts here.
that's phenomenal. So you know what? We definitely got to show that. And just to finish up, that's all I'm saying. So you know what? Understand your volatility, and if you want to project for longer swings, you know where to, how much move is left, and be able to sit through the patience of it. And some more examples for you is from Gavin right now. So Gavin, you want to go ahead and
Yeah,
show your move?
I'm gonna show the screen right now. I'm short no demand, added to the position. Now you can see it. This is the Nasdaq. So now you should be able to see.
Yeah, now we can see. How about the others? Can you see it?
Yeah, you could see. Can you see the Nasdaq?
Yeah, I think the others can see it as well. Yeah. Tom is confirming. How about
Yeah,
the rest here?
it's
Mark, can you see it?
a 1 minute
Sally,
chart. I went short up here.
AJ, Enzo.
Yep.
If you all can see it, then it'd be great if you can put it into the chat box. That's great. Thank you.
Okay. Can everyone see that? Sorry about that. I think that was a problem with the internet here, but it's
Yeah, go
fine.
for it, Gavin. Yeah, we can see it now. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So you got no demand. All right. So let's talk about what's about to happen. And my apologies that there was a bit of a technical issue, but watch. No demand, no demand, up thrust, potential selling, and it's professional selling actually, it's not even potential. So we got these lines drawn. Now on the other screen, I've got the SMI indicators that I'm using. And you're going to see this collapse right now in front of your eyes. Okay, there's no argument with this. I'm not going to even go there. I mean, I'm sorry that it took me a bit of a delay there. Maybe that was deliberate. Maybe smart money are interfering. I don't know. But watch. I'm going to take out that low. And again, Tua and I do this all the time. We do it live. Now, what we've got here is you've got the Nasdaq. You've got no demand, no demand. Okay, and you've got these indicators which mean exactly that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up the 5-minute NQ. And we'll put up a 5-minute chart. Okay, now what you're going to see to the left here, and I've left the volume off quite deliberately, is this bar here and this bar here. And then you would look and say, okay, well, you've got the E-mini on. That is clearly weakness, but it's gone back up into that area, which it has. And then you can go to a 3-minute chart. You can go to a small time frame. You don't have to go to a big time frame. And there it is. And then we see it selling PS. And I've taken everything off the chart deliberately so you can see it. It's got a 2-bar reversal. And now what we do here is we observe what price action actually does. And that's really important. Now, I want to finish off quickly because I'm going to be trading this now on Tesla. All right. And I've got a lot of questions on this. So I'll finish and then I'll hand back to Turu and then we can wrap it up because we don't want to go too long. Tesla, very big company, really bad news. Elon Musk was saying X, Y, Z. I don't care. We had PB, right? Professional buying on a daily chart. The next bar closed up. It closed higher. And the next bar went into the bar here and moved higher. And it sent me an alert. Now watch what happens. Okay, it continues to rally. Okay, it goes sideways. Of course it does. But it does rally. And what happens, let me just reload that. You can see on the daily chart what happens. It has to rally and everything turns green. And we've got these tests. And they're called a test in a rising market. Now we're about to have another one. So I'm just warning you. Another one. And that'll happen tomorrow. That will definitely form a test. And when you get sellers appearing and it's tested, it's actually a bullish moment. So in hindsight, you can look at these things, but they're there in foresight. And I would just say to all of you listening to this webinar, just be aware that things happen in the markets which you when you're looking at it, you go, oh, that can't be right. But actually, it usually is. Tesla, when you were looking at that stock price, Elon Musk, who owns it, says, oh, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. We can't
New
do that.
visitor.
Yeah. And this is what happens. They say these things. Same with Donald Trump. Be aware and look at the chart.
New visitor.
Yeah, chart doesn't lie. And I'm getting loads of inquiries right now. And the reason is this. I want you to go and look at the NASDAQ. It's about to move big time. And go and have a look at it. I'm going to hand back to Tiru. Tiru, what's your thoughts on the NASDAQ right now? I mean, I can see this. This could be a great trade.
I think it's what you've analyzed before, and I think the audience got quite a bit now to reflect on, basically. And I think from the principles that we have taught over here, Gavin, I think that's more than enough for them. And I
Yeah.
think they can see on the charts on how all these pictures and direction buys and timing, when to get in, and how to crystallize it into their own trading plan as well. So they can definitely look into that. I think they've got a lot on their plate. And I think we've shown them also like how you use all the different time frames to analyze this as well, right? So it's all pretty similar how the price and volume matches up. So if I want to just share the screen, I will wrap it up from here as well. I think we've gone
Yeah, go ahead. Take the screen. Yeah, go ahead.
go a bit above time already. So this is the NASDAQ, guys, and
Hold on,
if you look
let me stop the share. Hold on.
yeah, I think it should be fine, I think.
Yeah.
So if you guys can see that, then you can see that using the SMI price and volume basis, you can also see that over here as well. It's the same things, same analysis what Gavin has done. Overall, on a higher time frame, yes, it's showing towards the upside, but when you go on to the lower time frames towards what bias and direction, then you got to formulate it accordingly. Okay. So then on the 4 hour, you can see all the different spikes happening. Nice potential buying over here as well, being supported. This one's over here as well on the 1 hour. So you go to then look at it. I think we've shown you a lot of guidance. So definitely look at all of that as you are going through the replay and putting that into your own strategy as well. And then you can see that also onto the 1 hour as well. You know, it's an extended swing with a big low test bar over here as well. And then if you keep going further down, you can see this is where Gavin was also looking at it around here. Definitely some consolidation, big volume spikes happening. Now you need to see how the price and the volume happens, and that's what we were going through today, and that's what we want you guys to also look at and analyze this for yourself as well. Usually, I think I'll just end all of this. Whenever you get a big bars like that, part of the range will be tested, and if part of the range is tested and it still holds that bottom, that's one of the clues for it to go to the upside. That's what we have developed over here, both here at Master the Markets and Trade Guider. I think enough said on this. I think we analyzed enough. We've gone a little bit above time. But it's okay. We had some live trades, good learning to do as well. You guys can check it on the replay. Very quick recap on the links for you guys to take away, really sink in deep into this knowledge. One is 7 steps to CTP. After you put in your details, click on the green button, get the 7 videos, 15 years of collected research. Look through that. You want to get the indicators straight away, SMI and VSA page. YouTube channel to stay on top whenever we go live stream every Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday we go live stream on our channel. So that's youtube.com/masterthemarkets. And once you've done that, click on the subscribe button, hit the all bell icon. Do the same thing on Trade Guider channel as well. After you hit the subscribe, hit the all bell icon, youtube.com/Trade Guider. Trade Nation, quick shout out to them. Those are the guys that are helping us with all the Telegram channel and everything. If you want to open up a broker account, all the information is kept inside the Telegram channel. Last thing I want to tell you all is the summit that is coming up. This happens once a year. highly recommend it. 10th and 11th of October is going to be Westminster, London, overlooking the beautiful Thames River. And over the 2 days, there will be lunch and there will be dinner on the first evening as well, all included in your ticket price. And also what's going to happen there is we're going to do a lot of live trading over there. We're going to look at a lot of research updates, going to analyze this much more in detail. What are the challenges? What are the issues we have? How do we solve it together as a mastermind team? Those are the things we'll look at also in the trading strategy construction part as well. So you can look through the website, you can see all the reasons why it was formed and all that. Highly, highly recommend it. Amazing, incredible, passionate, great minds come here. A lot of people, some of them are also then flying in from overseas countries into London as well. So it'll be a great group to hang out with and also to learn from. And then it would be great for you guys to join us either in person. In person is always good. We always feel that. Or you can also join us online. The online tickets just opened up. In person, there's only a few tickets left. I think that's pretty much that'll be a great way also to end off the year as well, traders, when you come to the annual summit, because it'll be October, 2 more months, it'll be the new year. It'll be a nice way to re-energize, inspire ourselves and go into the new year. Okay, that's pretty much that. Gavin, I just wanted to say, anything else you want to wrap up with before we?
No, just to say the same thing that you've just said. I mean, we really want to help you, and meeting people in person, and we've gone through, COVID and all of this rubbish where you can't meet people. Well, I can tell you the best people I've ever met are in a live event, and some of them are in this room listening. Come and meet us. I know you think that Turu is a robot, he's AI. I think he is too, but I have never met him. But no, seriously, the best way to learn is to connect. And Think, Link, Create, my third book, has done that. I mean, I've sold over 100,000 copies already, and I'm more than that. But the most important part is I've connected. And when I come up to London, and obviously I'm going to meet with TJ, who's in this room, there's a story behind everyone's life. You never know what that story is, but you learn. And, I think my kids are going to come up with me and they want to learn. And my eldest daughter's boyfriend, he wants to become a trader. I'm like, well, I can help you. I can teach you that. So it'd be great. And so to all of you, I say, may your God bless you, wherever you are in the world. I know some of you have connected with me. I'll talk to you after I've rested, because I've been up 24 hours. I've been trading and I've been doing really well. But finally, there's a word, and I'm going to India in a few weeks' time, and I'm just planning it now. And the word is namaste, and it comes from Dr. Wayne Dyer. And I can't wait to go to India and experience the great food that they have and the experience that I'm going to have. But ultimately, at the end of the day, all of you listening to this webinar can make it if you study, if you understand supply and demand, cause and effect, effort versus result. Put those three things in your vocabulary and study them and look at what we've just shown you, and I think you'll all do well.
That's great. That's
Yeah, back
awesome.
over to you.
That's a beautiful wrap up over there, Gavin. I think with that said, traders, as we always say, till the next time, stay disciplined, follow your trading plan, and keep trading like a master.